Hello and welcome to another video. Today we'll be doing Aerogarden cleaning. So this one just got done growing some tomato plants. They just got removed, and so there's quite a bit of dirt and grime in it, and as well as some of the roots that are still inside of it. So we're just going to go through my process of how to clean this. The things that you'll need is the Aerogarden. I usually use some tape to cover off of the plug just so that it doesn't get wet. So when you plug it back in, there's not fire hazard or electrocution. So you'll need that, and then some distilled white vinegar and a sponge that you don't care about. And that's about it. So our first step here is going to be just taking the pieces off. This just comes out. If you have plants in here and you're trying to keep them alive while you clean the base out, sometimes for the longer term plants you need to do that. The process is kind of the same. You can kind of grab in here and pull it out without using those holes. It takes a little finagling. You get it out. You can fill up a plastic tub or just one side of your sink and then kind of prop it up onto there and leave the roots into some fresh water while you clean out the tub, and then you'll kind of transplant them back in here. So the first thing that we will do is to clean out our tub here, and then we'll go to the top. That actually comes into two pieces, and then the water hole port cover. The water cover is a really simple clean once you've done everything else. I went ahead and changed camera angles here for you so that you can get a better look at what I'm doing on this disassembly part of it. The things that can take out is this top piece. I'll set that aside into that portion. There is the floater, which is just a pretty simple. You kind of push down a little and it just twists right out, and you can see some roots that grow up into this. Roots kind of grow everywhere in here, so you have to kind of, when you're done with one, come through and just clean them out so that your mechanism will go back to working properly. So there's that part. And then there is this black filter. I'll just show you where that is. There's black filter in here. That comes out as well. That prevents a lot of things from going inside of the pump. As you can see, it gets pretty matted with roots as they try to grow to where the water is going. So those just come out very slowly. And so that's the disassembly of this. The next step is rather simple. It is to take the sponge, get it wet, use some warmer water, and you will pick up with that once the water warms up. Okay, so I have a faucet of hot water and my white vinegar off screen off here to the side. And the first thing is we're just going to run some hot water into it and get it nice and clean. This is just kind of a scrub, gets off the stuff that is easy to pry up. We'll do this with all of the things, and I might not show you all of them if it's a little mundane. If you have your sponge, just go ahead and do a light little scrub. Kind of just follow the contours of the box. Let's do this piece. this. And just gotta kind of rub out the roots that were there. Scrape them out, scrape them off the top. Nice. So this part is clean. This actually goes like down into this filter part. I normally, for cleaning purposes, just leave it in here. We'll get it later. It makes it a lot easier. So for this part, like I said earlier, this comes in 2 pieces. This gets really gunky on the bottom. Let's go get some of that off. A lot of hard water, a lot of the plant food, all kind of mixed together. So like I said earlier, this top piece comes actually into 2 pieces. So let's break that down a little. It goes, there's these tabs, there's 6 of them. And you kind of just push gently, push them inwards and out. Then just kind of make sure that they're stuck in place a little outside of where they are, so that when you accidentally grab it like that, it doesn't pop back in place. And just kind of work your way around. If you have trouble with some of them, run a little hot water in there, kind of give it a little water to kind of break that seal. So, and plus the heat of the water will help the plastic move. So you do not want to break this, but you do want it clean again. There we go, just like that. And the last one. Once you have all 6 of them, we will just break this seal by hooking your finger into one of these and pulling, nice and slowly. There you go, that's actually a better handhold. If you go through right here and push and pull at the same time, it should all come out. If you feel any true resistance, just try a different spot. Recheck that these didn't slip back into there, and there you go. You have two pieces. Onto the top part. I wasn't able to get the bottom part terribly clean using the manual scrubbing. That sometimes happens, so I will just have to see how well the vinegar breaks up all of this. Okay, so for this part, we just push this back together. Like I said earlier, if you face resistance while doing anything with plastic, just kind of take a step back, reevaluate the situation. No need to break anything. Alrighty. So that does it for washing phase. Onto the vinegar phase. Now this uses quite a lot of white vinegar, so I'd suggest getting a big one. Open it. Trying to at least get the top covered. Which takes almost all of this. It does take all of it. So that's a 32 ounce bottle. use this to help measure out the hot water flow. I try to do about equal parts warm hot water and clean. Slightly just a little. And that's about what the Aerogarden of this size can take. We'll recycle this. And we'll meet back up over at the Aerogarden. So over at the Aerogarden, you don't actually need to put it back up here on the base, as long as you can just plug in the back. Remember, take off the blue tape that we put on there earlier, and then if you hold down the add plant food button, it will cycle, it'll start blinking, and it'll run the pump. I normally do that about 2 or 3 times with the vinegar solution in there. Each run takes about 5 minutes to do. After the Aerogarden has run through its cycle, I did about 4 times this time just to really get some of the grime off. Brought it back here, re-taped up the end, and we pry this up. This will have a little vinegar left in it. I'm going to take this out, which will be floating. Put that over on that side. And while it's here, take this and do a little scrubbing on top. Wherever it's needed, it needs that little extra cleaning that the normal run cycle doesn't get to. So got it back into 2 different pieces. And I'm going to do a little bit more rinsing. So just going through, taking one piece at a time, getting a nice scrub down, dipping the sponge in the vinegar water mixture, scrubbing a bit more, and it is cleaning up very nicely. As you can see here, it is back to its original color, which is what we are looking for. So that is all of the parts clean. The next thing is our lovely water reservoir. Before I dump this out, I'm going to go ahead and scrub up along the walls here where the pump cycle doesn't actually take it, and just gently, sometimes not so gently if it's being stubborn, just take some of the vinegar, rub it up here on the walls, get it nice and clean. And we will dump this out. I usually like to have the water running for this just to help dilute water as it goes down the drain. Back up with some water, and then dig with your fingers down in the pump just to try and break up any roots that grew down there, any grime that's on it. Okay, we are ready for the reassembly. This is very similar to the disassembly steps. You take your take the black charcoal filter. You take the filter and it goes down right in here in front of the pump. There's a little slot for it, and you want to try and get it underneath that lip right there. bobber, goes back in a little small side down. There's a big opening, small opening. The small opening finds the peg that is down here in the bottom of this. And then twist to lock into place. The pump attachment goes right on top of there. The lid goes back together. Just like that, we have a clean Aerogarden, and we are ready to garden again. I recommend running your pump through it a couple times. Fill this up with water. Run the pump back through it again, probably twice. Just get any residue vinegar that's left in any nooks and crannies, and then put your plants back in. If you're doing the step where the plants are still growing, all you have to do is the bottom. So you don't actually have to do the pump running steps. I do recommend having some vinegar with you, but since you can't really run through the pump without the top on it, just take the vinegar, the sponge, and just scrub around in there. It really helps loosen up any of the kind of crystallized plant food or anything else that's in your water that's stuck to the sides. So I'm going to run this through the pump a couple times and then drain it out, refill it, and we will start a new batch of plants. So that is all I have for you today on how to clean out an Aerogarden. I thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them below. And if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Thank you.